Hello, everybody, and welcome to Harry and Jen Do Horror with Friends. On this podcast, we pick a current-ish horror film to analyze, critique, and discuss with a buddy. This month, Jen and I sat down with artist and transplant specialist Jill Delfino to talk Damien Leone's Terrifier 3. We discussed the slasher genre, best kills of the franchise, misogyny, art, and a bunch more. You should know that on this podcast, we totally spoil our movies, so if you haven't seen the Terrifier franchise yet, and especially Terrifier 3, be sure to check those out first. They are outrageous. If you have a minute, we welcome ratings and reviews on your podcast streaming services of choice. We'd love your help growing the show any way you like, if you have the time, especially by sharing these episodes with your horror enthusiast buddies. Next month, we are going to talk about Opus, directed by Mark Anthony Green. In Opus, a young writer travels to the remote compound of a legendary pop star who mysteriously disappeared 30 years ago. Ooh. Surrounded by a cult of sycophants and intoxicated journalists, she finds herself in the middle of his twisted plan. All of that is to come next month. For now, let's sit down with Jill and talk about Terrifier 3.
How do you feel about the lack of showing us Jonathan's death?
Oh, how he went from just Jonathan's alive to Jonathan's a skull?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pointless. Did the kid get fired like halfway through the fucking film?
No.
What happened?
Apparently.
If he's literally dead, I'm going to feel so bad. But like...
He is literally dead. In some interview, Damien Leone was like...
No, the actor's not dead.
Okay, I was like...
I heard that wrong. Holy shit.
Jen.
You should have seen Jill's look. I wish I have to describe for our listeners Jill's look just now.
That can be the thumbnail of the whole thing. Just my like absolute terrified face when Jen was like, "He's dead. The kid's dead."
No, the kid is not dead. Just to be clear.
Singer-songwriter. I am an English teacher. I am currently beating the heat by spending as much time as humanly possible at several pools in my hometown of Ithaca, New York, and it's been really lovely. I'm on summer vacation. It strikes me as odd that we're about to talk about such a wintry movie, given how summery it actually currently is. But I'm for it. I'm good. I had some tequila earlier. That might explain a lot about me tonight. Go ahead.
I have some amaretto in hand, and I'm not upset.
There you go. Perfect.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jen Lightfoot, and speaking of alcohol, I'm drinking whiskey, which looks very tall, but I did put water in it to I
was about to say, that looks like a hearty glass of whiskey.
I do the same thing. I'm like, ooh, I got to get up tomorrow.
Right. But I need whiskey for this. Let's see. I don't know. Beating the heat, sure. Yeah. Today was sort of a weird day where we had to deal with talking about the water in our house and then an exterminator. So it's been not an interesting day, just a day with house shit that I
Are
wish
those two things related?
No, God, okay. No, that'd be
somehow worse. That means you had to place 2 different calls to 2 different people about this.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I'm like, I don't...
Your own Groundhog Day.
Right? The worst part is making the call, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Our friend tonight is Jill. Jill, talk to us. Who are you? What are you about?
I am someone who started in the arts, in sculpture and film. That's what I went to school for. I was teaching it for a little while. And then, like a mad person, I switched over to medicine. And I switched over to a specialty, which is tissue and organ donation. And I have I went from teaching slasher films to being the person to cut people open, which is such a weird scale that I have never known anyone else in either field who has gone either way. Mm-hmm. So now I live in Brooklyn with my lovely wife. We moved here in 2020 to follow my work and to, off the heat of the pandemic and all that fun stuff. So speaking of heat, we are in a lovely air-conditioned apartment, which I never leave, and I work in 55-degree rooms all the time, so I feel great, and I'm very pale, and I don't get outside much.
Mm-hmm.
So naturally, I want to watch more horror films.
Perfect.
Mhm.
That sounds ideal. And Jen, we keep blowing through this, but like we keep forgetting to talk about like the friend connection, like
Yeah,
where
yeah. So how do you both know each other?
we do.
Our wives are sisters.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good way to say it. It sounds like slightly Mormon, but like I'll
It does.
just
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's it. Harry's my brother-in-law. See, that sounds worse.
I'll take either. It's fine.
My sister brother.
I'm not picky. It's yeah.
And yeah, we have known each other about 9 years now.
Holy shit, have we?
Yeah.
Wow, dude. Wait, did you guys hit your
You also officiated my wedding.
I did officiate your wedding. That was lovely.
It was
There
awesome.
among the redwoods
Among
in
the trees.
California. Yeah. Jill bought this is but before I had two kids. I had just one kid at the time, and she was like 13 months old, and she was at the wedding as well. And Jill bought her a toddler-sized Ewok outfit
Oh,
because
It was the
like
same woods they filmed it in.
yeah, they filmed the Return of the Jedi in, and so yeah, so we have a bunch of pictures of Carly running around in an Ewok suit.
was Carly the only one in costume?
Yes.
Yeah, no, she was the
That's
only
great.
one.
We have half the photos. She's like waddling around in her cute little like skirt and leggings combo.
Yeah.
And then about like 75% of the way through the photos, we reveal to Harry, and we have like a photo of him with this like Ben Wyatt surprise face on.
Yeah.
We've revealed that we bought this costume, and he immediately wakes Carly up from a nap and is like, "Let's put it on her."
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, it was
I
so
love
worth
that.
it.
Oh,
so
it
worth
was fantastic, and that whole 4 days in California was like absolute trip, man. That was hysterical. I'm sorry, it's super tangent, but we had everyone stay in an Airbnb with us, and so everyone got their own rooms. It was just like absolute chaos, and it was so much fun. But there's nothing like being trapped in one building with your immediate family and friends for
Well,
4
that's
days.
like good and bad at the same
Yes,
time.
that's exactly what it is.
Both sides of it, you know, yin and yang. It's
The best
yeah.
and the worst.
It was fantastic.
Yeah. Now, Jill, back there, you touched on a little. Obviously, like you know, you're my sister-in-law. We are, you are a lovely human being, and so I wanted to talk to you for that reason. But like, one of the other things I wanted you for this movie specifically is because of your whole trajectory as like an artist to now somebody who like actually harvests human. That's a rough word to use.
You can say recovers, procures, harvests. It's all the same.
Someone who reaps, shall I say, human tissue from donors, which is like a really brave profession. Because today we're doing Terrifier 3. And that is, I feel like it's a movie that's just got so much in common.
It really, there's a lot of art to it, and there's a lot of grotesque to it.
Yeah.
And what's funny is when I was in college and I was doing arts and film and all that stuff, I worked with our local theater groups. And so one of the things I did was special effects.
Yeah.
On stage, and then having moved into actual real life, like scary stuff in that way, Terrifier 3 is just amazing.
Oh, cool. All right.
Before we hop into that, though,
we
gotta have you summarize it.
So, like summarize the whole film?
Yeah, you could do like in-depth blow by blow, or you can just do like one sentence Netflix synopsis.
It's a gold level B+ Christmas slasher with a very well developed villain, terrible writing, and amazing special effects.
Nice.
And it's just it's its own. I have to put it in its own category. Like it just it's just out there, man. It's an unexpected little treasure.
Yeah, so let's do some. We have some analysis questions that we want to talk about, right? Does anybody
Yeah.
feel like wants to go first? Feel like you have a maybe like a good question to jump in on?
I do have a question to jump in on that kind of goes with what Jill was talking about with like your career and doing
We can throw that in as much
making
as you need
art.
to. It's fine.
It
We
will come up
will.
a lot, I feel like.
I understand what we're doing. It's okay.
Yeah, we'll be referencing that a lot. I'm just going to ask both my questions in one because I feel like it can be one.
Okay,
But
sure.
so I know we're talking about Terrifier 3, but the others I feel like will wiggle their way into this podcast.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so, like, what do you think the movies are like doing or saying with art? Not Art the clown, but like art. Like, because his name is Art and her name is Sienna, like
Hmm.
paint, burnt sienna, and then also it's all practical effects. So like how do you
Hmm.
feel the practical effects add to it, and do you feel like it adds to that element or conversation of art in the movies?
Yeah, I think they split it right down the middle, right? So art is your red, white, and black. And so every time he's on screen, he's portrayed red, white, and black. His color tones behind him are red. He uses the most red. He's the painter of red. And then sienna, which is your typical brown, yellow color, brown, orange, yellow. We see her in warm tones the entire time. And they split the film between this like very warm red to yellow back and forth. So you kind of always know where you're shifting until the end, which is nice. It's nice that they just like you have the blatant symbolism, which is art.
Hmm.
Art is making art. Art is
Right.
identified with red. He's a heavy-handed painter. Red is very heavy-handed, and
Hmm.
then you have this really subtle development character with like Sienna and how she's building and building and building, which is akin to that color. You have to build that color up. That's not just right out of the tube like red.
Yeah,
I like
that's
it.
like that's really
I
cool,
love
actually.
Uh,
I
I had other things written down about art, but like not that. That was
no, sorry.
no, I love it. It's such a great reading, and like that's
That's really
awesome.
cool. Jen, so wait, what are these other things you had written down, Jen? Wait, do you have a
Yeah.
spiel this time?
Yeah.
Jen has a spiel.
I
Wait,
love I love the Terrifier franchise.
as a
So
whole,
as a whole, I'm
yeah.
like it's like yeah. So I may have gone on a I don't have footnotes like Harry normally does though.
I scribbled some things. It took exactly one piece of paper.
Right? Mine is like, oh, I don't know why I put that on the screen. Obviously, you can't see a phone screen.
Looks great.
Um, um, so one thing I wrote was that Art the clown is kind of like a performance artist.
Hmm.
Each of his kills, he likes to have an audience member. So all of his kills, someone is watching. So like, just as an example, in the first one, he makes the friend watch as he
Right.
slices from vagina to head. In the second one, he waits for the mother to come home while he's on the bed with the girl that I can't remember her name. And then he kind of like performs in a way, like, and actually in the first one with the sawing of it, he does like a ta-da type motion.
Mhm.
He's doing
I
on the
forgot about
screen.
that.
But he's like, it's like almost like he's like, look at this thing. He reveals a curtain. And then also in the second one, like he waits for the Jonathan to come home before he like shoves the mashed potatoes into the mother's mouth.
Mm.
Um, Makes the friend watch from the car as he like cuts off her boyfriend's dick. Like we have all these like almost every single one. You know, he makes Sienna watch in the last one with the rat scene in the end. So
Mhm.
he wants a show. Like he like I think that's like his art in
Yeah.
quotation.
Well, he's
Yeah,
such a performer, and David Howard Thornton is
Yes.
such a great, like,
oh, he's
physical
amazing.
Hmm.
performer, right? And I think that that all kind of wraps really well into that.
Hmm. And then the other things I had were that Sienna's an artist, and she even says that she needs to be creative, like art is her therapy.
Mm.
And her dad is an artist, and so,
Mhm.
and like the character she becomes was like a character that he drew. So I feel like there's like, and a lot of those are obvious, but like,
It's I mean, yes and no. It's like good paralleling, right? Like we have art's performance and then we have her performance and it's coming from two ends of the same spectrum.
it's
Mhm.
true.
But I completely agree. I mean, he's a clown, he's performing, but he's not performing in the way that you would expect.
Right. Well, there's too like this idea that like like creation and destruction are like not actually as opposite as you might expect, right? Like what art does is very destructive, but you know it is also like its own form of expression. It's like him putting something out there into the world, and so like that is really funny. I had kind of taken art as like because I also picked up on the fact that his name was Art, and a little bit of Jill, what you were like referencing earlier with the very grindhouse B movie quality of this. I wondered briefly if there was something in Art that was about mocking the concept of high art, especially like in horror film, with this, you know, character whose name is Art, and you know what he does is just create this total like splatter.
Yeah, he's like a Jackson Pollock.
Thank
Right?
you so much. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
He's a Jackson Pollock to a Caravaggio, man. He looked at Rembrandt and was like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna make a mess.
Totally, totally. I didn't want to go too far down that rabbit hole because I also kind of felt like this is a movie that you know if you're digging really deep into its themes, it almost feels like you're a little bit missing
The whole
the
point.
point because so
Yeah.
much of it is sensationalism, right? So much of it is just the visceral experience of watching someone get sawed from vagina to head or watching someone take a chainsaw in the ass. Like, you know?
But that's exactly it. Like the reason I'm laughing right now is because he doesn't make with all that like frivolities. Like he doesn't bother with all that like not showmanship, but like extra shit. He's like, no, this is gore. You should get slapped in the face with it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In the third one, he like kills. I was like, holy shit! He killed the little kid, the boy first, and I was like, that is. I was like, this is gonna sound awful. I don't have children, so I feel like this doesn't affect me.
Where
the
are you
same
going
way.
with this?
It's a bold fucking move when a horror movie kills a kid first, and I'm here for it.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
Because I feel like it's like they're just like, yep, we're gonna do it.
Yep.
Totally.
We're not gonna soft step this motherfucker. We're gonna go right in.
Totally. Totally.
I agree. He doesn't tap dance around it at all. He's just like, this is what you came here for. I'm gonna give it to you.
Yeah, like this feels very much like I think partially it's success, which we should maybe talk about. It's like a very successful franchise for the amount of money put in and the amount of money gotten out of it. I think maybe some of its success might be driven by like a reaction to the like, you know, like A24 art house, like super deep, super or at least not if not deep, at least taking itself super seriously. You know what I mean? Like it feels like a maybe that's part of why people are kind of drawn to it because it is just it's like a splatter film basically.
It's one of the more recent horror franchise killers. Like, what would you call
Yeah.
that?
Oh,
Like,
yeah, franchise, like a horror franchise. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I feel like most of the ones we have are like from the 80s, except maybe Ghostface from the 90s.
Yeah.
And then we don't really have another like iconic one that I can think of. Like,
Not gore wise. I mean, a few come to mind, but again, only a few. So like we had Paranormal Activity, which is a big franchise, which doesn't have a lot of gore, if at all.
no, but it doesn't have a character. So the
Right.
thing is like
Right. But it doesn't have like
Freddy.
it doesn't follow the formula at all. And then well, we had like the Saw films, so
Mhm.
we have a classic antagonist with the Saw films. But again, that's early 2000s, so we haven't had all of that for
Yeah.
the better part of like 15 years.
And I would also argue that like with Saw in particular and Scream, like you know I love that movie, but like people don't there's not as much well, I'll take this back for Scream. But with Saw, there's people aren't like walking around with like Jigsaw t-shirts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not in the same way at all.
It's not like he hasn't become this kind of like merchandisable iconic horror villain. So I totally agree with you, Jen, that it's refreshing to have like a new like slasher. You know, I'll call him a hero, but
Yeah, no,
you know what
I mean
like
he is. He's the ideal.
yeah, yeah.
We
100%.
can romanticize him. I think that comes with the you know, the endearing qualities of how fucking weird and humorous he is.
Can I bring in one of my questions now if we unless we have more to say about
Please.
that?
Definitely.
So the question I wanted to ask, which has to do with more like the entire series, but I think three, factors into this. Terrifier, the first one, um, was accused of being kind of misogynist as a film. And first of all, what do you think about that accusation? And do you think that subsequent Terrifier films have worsened the misogyny, have corrected for the misogyny, or is that the kind of thing you can correct for?
I really wasn't paying attention to that much of the misogyny. It
Uh,
like didn't not oh, that doesn't sound great from my point, but like it
Well,
didn't.
so just to, if I could just
I was
elaborate a little.
distracted by a
Yeah,
lot of other elements.
yeah,
It didn't hit me right away, I think, because I've seen all these other slashers that revolve around just like destroying women. But I get it. I get where they're coming
totally. But that's a great point, right? That
that
like
is
this
a
is
great
there's
point.
such an established tradition about this. But specifically, the thing I think that people are latching onto is, of course, that iconic kill scene in the first Terrifier, where I think Jen already talked about it, where a woman gets strung out, and Art takes a saw from vagina to head, like it's really just like a genital assault, and coupled with the fact that like Art the Clown is like a male character. He's largely stalking female victims, especially early on. Wait, I'm getting a hold on a sec, Harry. Go ahead.
Well, when you proposed this question to us, and I've heard this critique of Terrifier before, um, he kills about equal, if not more men. I did a tally. The only parts that were
from.
really difficult for me to tally were the clown cafe scene, which I was like, fuck, I can't tell.
What's
Who
even going on
who
in that
could?
scene? Like,
Who
Yeah,
could?
I
That
love
was
it,
really, I
but I was like,
mean,
who's dying? I
that
can't
was
tell right
absolutely
now.
the whole point of that clown cafe.
But yeah, so it is about equal. I think that Jill, you said something that's really important with the slasher series. It tends to be a male stalking women.
Yeah,
But Harry, I
it's
interrupted you. You should keep going, and
no,
then I have things.
no, I agree. I mean, how many slasher films off the top of my head, or even just horror films or thrillers in general, have a female antagonist? I mean,
Mhm.
Misery is the only one that comes off, out of my brain immediately. Monster,
That one and the first Friday the 13th.
yeah, and technically, well, not technically, but like if we talk about Psycho and Norman Bates and his
Oh,
mother, we want to go back and forth through that. But like
and
that's
Saw-ish.
yeah, that's more an identity crisis than anything. But like, yeah, I mean, how many times have we seen it play out with the male antagonist and female protagonist?
Mhm.
yeah, I think that's really astute. So, like, are we kind of leaning towards this idea that like, is it misogynist if he's just kind of like continuing the tropes and
Well, okay, so I think Art just kills whoever is in his way. I think that he has fun with it despite gender. So in the third one we'll get into the critiques of the kills, but uh, one of the ones that I think is meant to be like shocking and like the ripping of the skin off in the second one and the saw in the first one is the guy in the bar where he like freezes him and then hits him, but it's a guy
Yeah,
this time.
it's
Everyone
it's
mentions
three
it.
guys. I mean, it's three guys in there. It's not
It
even
is three guys, yeah.
a whole scene without a single woman.
And the other thing I was thinking that the third one uh, does that I don't know if it's like okay, so the second one brings in Sienna, and I've heard Damien Leone, the director, say that that is his favorite character he's ever written. I may have listened to some of the commentary on Terrifier 2.
Yeah,
And
same.
did you? Yes.
Okay, so I mean, of the three, Terrifier 2 is my favorite.
Same, yes.
Yeah,
interesting?
yeah. I also, I'm not a Christmas person, so it
Yeah.
was already kind of not happening for me. But
Fair.
no, I love how she's written in the second one.
Yeah, and I love like Sienna's character. Like she's like a badass, like final girl. And so I
Yeah,
think that he tried, even though she has like the PTSD, which they've done with Final Girls and other slashers. There's that memory dream sequence thing where she's talking to her dad and she's like, hey, like, why don't you ever draw girls? And he's like, I did, but it's like the damsel
Yeah.
in distress all over again. But then she's about to leave and he's like, wait, I have one for you. It's like her character. She asks if it's an angel. He says, I wrote this down. He says that she is an angel warrior that has a special sword that can hurt any bad person but can't hurt her. And this is the part where I'm like, oh, I think it's like trying to make her more, not more powerful than art, but like stronger in different ways. Because she asks if the character can defeat Blaster Man, and he says that she can defeat 10 Blaster Men. So I think it's like trying to make like Sienna, the female character, stronger than art in that moment. So like we'll see how
Yeah,
that plays
I think
out.
I think it gives her a lot of footing, right? Because he's instantly powerful, he's instantly threatening, and so she kind of has to like he kind of has to build her character to be at some level equivalent.
Hmm. Harry, what do you think? What are your thoughts? You asked the
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I guess I just feel like you are both making excellent points, and it is making me kind of come down from my critique of Damien Leone, which I was ready to make.
Oh, you can
But
still make it. I
yeah, you
have
can
critique
still
of
make
him.
it.
I have this quote from him from the Evolution of Horror podcast, where the host asks him, Damien Leone, specifically about these accusations, and his response to it is this. He says, "I just laugh at it because it couldn't be further from the truth. I was raised by all women. If you ever hear my interviews, I almost sound like Norman Bates. Funny that that came up, to the degree that I talk about my mother and how influential she was and how important she is to me, and a strong single mother growing up. In another regard, it's almost like a badge of honor to get to this point because all my heroes had to defend themselves in the same regard, like Romero, Tarantino, interesting choice there. They all come under fire, so I don't really mind it. I don't pay any attention to it." And that answer to me is wrong. I don't love that response. And I also know just from other interviews and listening to him that he really deeply considers the criticisms of his work. Like he reads all the critiques, the good and the bad, and he really tries to like incorporate critics' feedback into what he does. And so to me, what I feel like has been happening in this series is like he made Terrifier, for better or for worse, it had this like very memorable genital mutilation scene. It got negative, it's negative criticism for being misogynist, and his response was like, okay, fine, I'll just like I'll flay two dicks in the next two movies. Like I'll make sure that we see two dicks getting chopped off. And I don't know, man. I'm not. I guess I'm just, for some reason, I'm not totally sold by that.
I agree. I'm halfway there with you. I'm halfway with Jen because like it is very obvious, and I did read some of his like interviews and stuff like that, especially after Terrifier 1 and how it was received. The dude does worry about his work, and he does have some lip service for fans in Terrifier 2 and Terrifier 3 especially. I feel like
Hmm.
they were like, "Oh, we love this shit. Like give us more of this." And not to mention like from Terrifier 1 to 2, I think, wasn't it all Patreon funded?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Terrifier 2 was all Patreon funded. Or not
Yeah.
all Patreon funded, but like
But a lot of it. It
a
went
big
so the
portion of it
original
was
I think the
Patreon.
original budget for Terrifier 1 was like 30 grand, which is insane for a raise your own funds indie film.
It's no
And
money.
and then he went to 250,000, which again, amazing that he did Terrifier 2 with that amount of money
Hmm.
when of the 3, like I feel like it's the best it's the best written. Terrifier 3 has all of it, right? So it's got all the lip service, it acknowledges the misogyny, it cuts both ways, physically and mentally and emotionally. and then um and then like objectively just like the special effects are better. Everything's better. I mean, they were on a budget of 3 million by then. So it was like just exponentially more
Yeah.
growth. But no, I think as far as like him acknowledging the misogyny, yes and no. The fact that he groups Tarantino in with that quote, I'm like, you're talking to the king of all feet. Like,
Mm,
you, like you have to know this. Like, you have to know this.
yeah,
Definitely.
You're not in the film industry without acknowledging either that it's a trope or that it's true.
right.
And I think it's the same for him. Like, you're gonna make a slasher film, you're gonna acknowledge that there's some level of misogyny, and you can do what you want to combat that.
Yeah, I've definitely heard some of his interviews where I'm like, oh, no. Like there's some things that I love and others where I'm like, oh, Damien, you gotta think about that a little more.
Oh
Um,
no.
which is interesting because the character, not character, the actor that plays Art is like always on Facebook, like posting about women's rights and gay rights.
Mm,
He's very, very, very outspoken. So
sure.
much that fans have gotten annoyed at him and angry with him
No
about it.
Mm,
kidding.
He does not back down. Like if you look at his posts, he will comment on people's posts, being
wow.
I love that about
you
him.
should be thinking like he's great. He's awesome for that reason. But I think the horror community, like we talked about this before, is very divided between like whatever liberal, conservative, and
Yeah.
I do think that David Howard Thornton is very liberal, and I do think Leone is slightly more moderate. He's definitely posted things about one of the actors in the first movie is now non-binary,
Mm,
and he definitely like posted a picture with them and was like saying like great things about them and how much he loves them. So there's like I feel like he's on a journey of learning, but not quite there. And I actually don't love that he listens to his fans. I feel like this is a critique I have of
Yeah.
Rob Zombie too, and it's the
wait,
same
are we
thing with
talking about Damien Leone or are we talking about, okay.
Damien Leone. It's the same thing with Rob Zombie, where the more surreal they go, the more the fans don't like it. And so the second
Mm,
one had a lot of surreal moments that were really interesting, and then the third one had a lot less. Like it
Yeah.
only had one scene, I think, that I would consider.
mm.
So
Are you talking about like the beginning in Terrifier 3 when we get a glimpse into like Art's world?
no, there's this at the end of the dream sequence, there's like a porcelain animated like Madonna or Virgin Mary or
Oh right.
something.
Oh right. I forgot about that.
I think that's like one of the more interesting visuals.
Yeah.
And me and Leone has mentioned David Lynch, but a lot of horror fans do not like David Lynch. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
I might
I
be
don't
hopping into critique slightly, but I do think
no, I'm with you.
listening to fans and like not knowing exactly sometimes what to do.
Yeah, I can see why he gets lost in that. I mean, it's hard though, right? Because like he is an earlier guy. He's in the beginning. Well, he's not in the beginning of his career, but like as far as people and audiences knowing him and knowing his name, it's just very early on.
Yeah,
And it's just now moving from this is a small cult following to this is very mainstream and is set to make even more money. So I think he has to. I don't know. I think he's got to pick a path, kind of like commit to it soon.
Pick a lane. Jill, did you have a specific question you wanted to ask?
The only thing that like runs through my mind when I watch a slasher or horror is like the generalized rules of slasher films of
Yeah,
formulas.
right, sure.
And so like the question that I always accidentally ask myself is like, does this, whatever I'm watching, does this meet the basic formula? And like, yes and no for Terrifier 3, right?
Yeah.
Because like they have the last girl, they have an absolute deranged psycho killer doing things no one else would. They have a background for him. They have like a flushed out character and a flushed out past, and then they have like numerous victims. They have a set time and place. They hit a lot of the marks for like classic formula horror slasher films. But then like he kind of goes off the rails, and I have trouble continuing with it because where the parts where we're like inside of Art's world and like things get really really fucking deranged and like strange, like Clown Cafe was I didn't know what to make of that in Terrifier 2, and then I came to love it because I'm like, oh, this is so fucking weird. And Terrifier 3 was somewhere in that same vein. I honestly wish it were weirder. It felt dark, a lot darker, which was great, but like I wish it were weirder. I wish it were more humorous.
I agree. And I think numerous moments I was like, I want more. Like when Art's like eating the cookie and he's like doing a
Yeah.
little dance or he's making fucking snow angels in the blood.
Right? Like that was the weird humorous shit where I was like, ah, like you still have all of the pieces of the original slasher formula that I love, and then you threw in this fun shit. Like right down to
You don't
like
like the fun shit.
no, I love the fun shit.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, oh, that's what makes this good. Like that's what makes Terrifier Terrifier is because it's a joke. It makes it insists upon itself. It's upending the whole thing, but at the same time still paying homage to clearly where he came from, which is like, you know, the Friday 13th and the Jason films and like all this, you know, Scream, all those classics, right? And It. And so when like he's in the hallway listening to the two teenagers talk shit and the guy's like, so you want to fuck him? And she's like, I don't want to do that. And you see him like turn around and he's like really disappointed and he's like, son of a bitch. Like
Yeah, yeah.
almost like Art's like, almost had one. Like it's like that to me is hysterical because that is almost like the uncovered side of Scream. And I know what you did last summer, right? Because Scream is just supposed to be terrifying. But when they reveal everything, you're like, oh, some of the time these clowns must have been fucking joking around, trying to get their shit together to try and kill these people. Like they're idiots. They're idiots. And so there is this like idiocracy and humor to Art that I like love.
Oh man, what a great observation that like these movies like the Terrifier films offer us like kind of like a window into the like just like the personal world of these monsters, right? In a way that like maybe other movies have kind of tried to do. Something that I feel like is a little bit along these lines that I was thinking about too is like maybe if there is a slasher figure that I feel that Art is most like, I think I might compare him to Ghostface, but like in the OG Scream, Stu Macher and what's his name? Those two guys, right, as Ghostface, like, and it's because they're so fallible. Right, Ghostface gets knocked around like a whole bunch in the first Scream, and it's like it's comical. It's like it's either borderline or full on funny. And I feel like something that's true of Art the Clown as well, is he's like he gets knocked around a bunch, first of all, right? He can definitely take some lumps, but also, right, his fallibility extends to his persona, which is so funny. And you're right, that is like totally what makes him, I think, and the whole franchise watchable, is his little moments that are honestly like a little
They're
like
just,
weirdly relatable.
they're
Like,
hysterical. They're absolutely
yeah,
hysterical.
for me, one of the funniest bits of Terrifier 3 is the part just before the scene in the bar where he's just kind of like walking down the street. You see him through the window from inside the bar, and he's walking down the street and he just walks by. But then he comes back, he like does a double take and looks in the window, and he's so excited because it's Santa Claus.
Yes.
Like,
Yes, and he's doing anything and he's like, I found him. I
yeah,
found him.
exactly.
Like
It's so funny.
exactly how any of us would have reacted, right? Because if I see a Santa Claus in a bar, there's no way in hell I'm not going up to him.
Hmm.
I'm
Sure.
like, or at least to go in and look at him. Like, this is weird, man. You're outside the mall. You're here. Like, I found you.
Totally. And it
Yeah.
also brings up this idea of him being almost kind of childlike in some ways,
Yes. Yeah.
which is a thing that they, I think, kind of flirted with in Terrifier 1 with
Hmm.
the woman with the doll.
Oh,
She has
yeah.
this moment with him where she's kind of mothering him, and I found it very Freudian. And then I thought that it was basically absent from Terrifier 2, and then it kind of came back again a little bit in
Do
Terrifier
you
3.
think, although, I mean, he has the little girl in Terrifier too that he's like
Yeah,
patty cake with
Yeah, I
in
think he
the.
goes back and forth on that in Terrifier too, because they also identify him as the dad and stuff, or like it's alluded to.
It's
So
alluded to, but I think he's
I
not
don't think
going to
he
do
is.
that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
because I look at that and I'm like, oh, that's not the same dude. But
Mhm.
like, yeah, they definitely allude to it. But it's more. I think you're right, Harry. I think it's more that childlike vibe.
so
Mhm.
yeah, I found that interesting. I think it maybe speaks to what works in these movies for a lot of people.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that his performance, like, if Freddie didn't talk,
yeah.
it could almost be like a Freddie too, because there's like a kind of like I'm having fun with it. Like this is a good
Oh
time.
yeah, Freddie was having a great time. He was
Yep,
grinning all over the place.
exactly. So I feel, and I mean, the other similarity within there is I don't know how deep they're going to go into this, but it seems like the person that Art was before the demon took over his body was a serial killer of children, which is
Yeah,
what Freddy was,
yeah.
Which movie did they say that?
the third one.
Me and Harry absolutely missing it.
Wait, Harry, in Terrifier or uh Friday the 13th?
In Terrifier, I thought they
In
said
the
they say
third one. And they
in the
yeah,
third
so
one.
in the third one they say it's the two guys. They don't say that Art is. It's implied. So there's the two guys in the house that Art lives in and they're like, "Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
right,
like a
and he's
serial
telling
killer."
that ghost story to him. Yeah,
Yes. And I
that went
think
right
the
over my
ghost
head.
story is actually meant to be about Art because it's like we'll get into the critique of the demon angel thing, but I
Oh yeah.
guess like a demon has taken over a serial killer's body, and that is art. So I think, yeah.
Hey, let's slip on over to critique because I wanna ask this question. So like, what do you both think of the like supernatural element
Uh,
of this franchise?
uh, I don't love when supernatural is. I don't like when they put orange juice in my milk. Okay, I don't like.
Where
I don't like when they mix my supernatural with my surrealist horror. Okay, the only element that I appreciate in supernatural elements, the only supernatural element I really like inside horror films is that the killer can't be killed. That I'm like, yeah, that makes sense because we gotta keep haunting and keep attacking people, and these movies have to keep making money. But I I like supernatural stuff as a standalone category. At least in Terrifier, in 1, 2, and 3, it's not heavy-handed. He really saves that supernatural stuff for just the most special of moments. That child getting sucked into hell, I was like, yeah, that's good. I could dig that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. Same thing with the second one. Like, yeah, the second and the third, because the only supernatural element we get in the first is that basically he comes back to life. I do think the third, I took like a picture of it while I was watching the movie, but it was like the letter that Jonathan writes to Sienna,
Oh
and it's
yeah.
trying to explain like the demon and the host thing with the little girl and Vicky. And I have to say, like, I was like, okay, I don't really care. I don't, that's not why I'm here. That's not why I'm watching this.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that element of supernatural stuff I don't care about as much. I liked the little girl falling to hell because I was like, ooh, that's weird. The ground just opened up.
That was a super enough element that I was like, oh, it's not believable at all. And now I enjoy it. So, like, seeing the lore of that letter, I was like, what? Okay.
I'm kind of somewhere in like I think I might be a little warmer on it than you guys, but because what I like about it is it feels like an original. It feels like a new thing to throw into like the slasher thing, like the not supernatural because like other slashers have been supernatural in nature, but like the whole like angels and demons thing, like war, super kind of Catholic, like
The
thing.
Constantine element.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like I don't hate the idea of it. Like I think it's okay. I just a little bit wish that it didn't feel so much like he's just throwing it together and like whatever is gonna like I don't have like I have zero confidence that he actually understands like the logic of this world that he's building. I think he's pissing it together as he goes. Jen.
So, the Terrifier series was actually meant to be a trilogy. It was only meant to be three movies. I think that he knows where it's going, but I think he's gotten off the rails a little bit because the franchise is doing so fucking well that I
Yeah.
think now it's not going to be that set trilogy anymore. It's just going to be another series of movies, which I think is, for me, why the third one felt like a stepping stone to the fourth.
I agree entirely because I mean, the jump from Terrifier 2 to Terrifier 3, I'm literally reading the Wikipedia. Um, like they did well with Terrifier 2. They made a moderate profit. It did well. Literally though, Terrifier 3 cost them only 3 million to make, and it grossed after the fact 90 million, which is just it's an insane margin.
Yeah,
It's
it's the
just
highest grossing indie horror film of the year.
yeah,
Yes, it was. Yeah.
yeah, which is just those numbers, man. I mean, and they brought back the Scream franchise. A major corporation brought back the Scream franchise for another run. They put all these famous actors in it, and it couldn't even touch this, which is just insane. Like, so yeah, I completely agree. He's building, like, he knows he's building up on something, and it's definitely going to go well.
Yeah, so I think there's going to be like a lot more Terrifier movies, which makes me a little worried about the conciseness of what
Like,
these are.
what's the next one? He's killing people on Easter. Like, I don't know where they're going to go with this.
Part of me
They have to
hopes
pick another holiday.
Yeah, like, I don't
I
know.
mean, to me,
Valentine's Day thriller. Like, it could be anything.
I hope that we go to hell in the next one. And I think there are hints that we will because the book in the end is the ninth circle and
Yeah.
first first short film.
The very first short film was about, it was, I think, titled The Ninth Circle,
It
right?
was, yeah, and
Yeah.
art isn't it? Different actor.
Obviously not as well.
So not, not
Didn't
no.
stick, not his fault.
And Gabby's in hell maybe, so like maybe we'll go down there and see what that's like.
So as I was like browsing YouTube, like looking at behind the scenes and like how they made the special effects, which I think we'll probably get into as well. But like in the recommended videos, it was like art goes to space in Terrifier 4, and I sat there laughing for like 30 seconds because I was like that it was just like a terrible photoshopped version of him inside a space costume with a knife, and I was like, this is great. Like whatever they choose to do is going to be clearly well loved because this was a fan made trailer for art in space.
I would 100% watch that.
See, I did. That's exactly what I mean.
But is it like are they gonna be able to keep it, like, if it keeps getting more and more grandiose? It's so interesting to me that like it started in such like a grindhouse B cinema place. Um and like it feels like, with the next installment, who knows what his funding is going to be, right? It could be just like a whole fuck ton of like crazy CGI shit. Like it could, you know what I mean? Like there could be like a big studio treatment to Terrifier, and I just don't know if that works for me. I don't know if I want that. Part of what I love
Yeah.
about the Terrifier movies, especially 1 and 2, which in 3 I felt it like dropped it a little bit for me. Like I kind of love how trashy the dialogue is in 1 and 2, and the acting especially, and like just even the like film looks cheap. Like it looks like video to me. That works for me for some reason in those two movies, and Terrifier 3 loses it a bit. And what I'm afraid of is that we're going to get Terrifier 4 and it's going to be this like glitz, like glossy, big production movie. And that to me loses some of the spirit. I don't know.
Well, I think it can go just one of two ways, right? So either he sticks to that beautiful way that Terrifier 2 is made in this like 36 millimeter camera. It's smaller, it's grittier. It's not, it almost doesn't even look like digital film, which is why that vibe of the 80s goes so well and that music mixes so well. And the whole thing feels way more cohesive than like Terrifier 3, which is shot on very clear digital film. It uses a lot of flat frame. We only get dynamic shots when we're zoomed in on the gore and zoomed in on art. So it feels very special when we're like watching him in particular. But like they could commit to that. They can stick to Terrifier 2, the way that's made, or they can go like full disco with it. Just like, oh, we're going to glitz it up. We're literally going to make like our version of Saturday Night Fever. I feel like he could do that. Like if he goes way above expectations, it makes it absolutely apeshit and still somehow watchable. It would be like really good.
I totally agree. And I know, Harry, you mentioned the CGI. I actually don't think he would do that because he is a special effects guy. Like Damien Leone. Like obviously he has a team that does it, but he is a special effects guy. And also there was a cameo by Tom Savini in the film.
Saw that.
But I
Super
think
cool.
the only moments of digital, I don't know about the third one. I should have looked it up. But I know the second one, the only moments of digital are in the Halloween store, the guy's face. There's like a digital thing for likeness. And then it is an actual animatronic like body on the bed. But
Yeah.
there's something I think with the face too, with the likeness to like that's digital. But it's so subtle that it works for me. I'm like, it's okay. Most of it's practical, so I don't care.
Exactly. He really uses it sparingly. That's why I think again I found Terrifier 2 so much easier to watch. Terrifier 3, I mean I'm already like a very critical person when it comes to horror and slasher films, so I was like really tearing that thing apart internally, but like Terrifier 2 I had next to no complaints. So I was like, yeah, this is what it is. Like it's a beautiful B+ movie, and they committed to making such like rich special effects.
Does anybody have any other like questions you want to ask about as far as the quality of the film, or do we want to like rate it? How do we want to go about it?
Oh, you could rate it. I could rate the special effects and
Yeah.
cinematography.
How do you feel about the lack of showing us Jonathan's death?
Oh, how he went from just Jonathan's alive to Jonathan's a skull.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pointless. Did the kid get fired like halfway through the fucking film?
No.
Like what? Like what happened?
Apparently,
If he's literally dead, I'm gonna feel so bad. But like,
he is literally dead. In some interview, Damien Leone was like,
No, the actor's not dead.
okay, I was like,
I heard that wrong. Holy shit.
Jen.
You should have seen Jill's look. I wish I have to describe for our listeners Jill's look just now.
That can be the thumbnail of the whole thing. Just my like absolute terrified face when Jim was like, "He's dead. The kid's dead."
No, the kid is not dead. Just to be clear.
Jesus Christ.
No, but the character Damien Leone said something like that. He was like, "Oh, the fan base has built so much of an attachment to him or something that like it didn't feel right." And I was like, "Fuck that. No. If we've seen everyone else die, I want to see this kid die."
Maybe it was just like a terrible screamer. Some actors can't scream. I don't know. It could have been that.
He also couldn't act. I mean, like, what the fuck
Definitely
ever?
couldn't. I don't know who that kid is related to, but it's not an actor.
He is okay. So he was on.
Poor kid. This poor dude's gonna do like 3 films in his entire life and be done.
He was okay. So there's a YouTube channel with children interview bands, and it's called fucking hell, what's it called? Little punk rockers or little punk rock kids or something. I don't remember what it's called, but he was on that. So he was like a child interviewing bands. So and then somehow got this.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, poor dude.
I also did not like the lack of showing us his kill scene. I mean, after asking us to invest as much in his character as it has, I feel like giving a kill scene in this franchise is like its way of paying. It's weird, sick, ironic way of kind of paying tribute to the character in a way. And for characters who have had like far longer kill scenes with way less audience investment. It felt weird. I wonder, I'm a little suspicious that maybe he won't actually be dead.
That's definitely a
Still
possibility.
a movie to go.
It also could have been just a flat out issue of editing, and they were like, you know what? This isn't good enough to keep. Just prop a skull up there.
That's possible.
Totally.
Like that shit happens all the time.
They left his kill scene on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, it's for the director's cut. Who cares?
Exactly.
I agree though. Like it especially in the Terrifier films, especially in Terrifier 3, like the director does pay homage to their character and how they're related to art and all that stuff, depending on the level of violence that's attributed to their deaths. Like what the mother in Terrifier 2, that was a fantastic kill. That was definitely quite literally blown away. Which is just the easiest pun in the book. But like it's the more ridiculous the kill, I feel like the more fun and the more love was brought to the character and the actor.
So should we rate it? Are we at that point? Are we ready to?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a solid 6. Just because Terrifier 3 was really well done. It was, to me, the best special effects that he's had so far. And most creative special effects. I mean, the most creative kills, right? Comparing it to his first film, comparing it to that divide down the middle, um, right, with that large cutaway. I think he got really creative and really funny, and like let art be art. So I give it a solid 6.
I would rate each of them, but I'm not going to do that. But I do want to say
I know, I was trying not to.
You were trying not to too. I will say, okay,
The only instruction we were given was don't talk about the other ones.
Harry.
Sorry, Harry.
Okay, Jill, if you want to rate the other two,
I will after we do the third. I'll rate the other two.
Okay, cool. So the third one, I'm just gonna. All right, so I'm gonna start it off by saying that I saw this in the theater, and my wife and I went into the theater and said, okay, we've seen people, we've heard stories about people passing out, throwing up. We need a safe word. Our safe word was pumpkin. And we were sitting there and we're like, if it's too much for either one of us, we're going to say pumpkin. Movie ended and we were like, the fuck? That's what we normally watch on a daily basis. Although I will say Tegan did say she realized she has limits and felt those limits with the mouse scene. I apparently learned I don't have limits, so that's disturbing and unsettling. But
or at least your limits don't involve forced ingestion of rodents.
No, that's true. I could have other limits. We don't know yet.
That actually didn't. Oh, this is going to sound terrible. The ingestion of the rodent didn't bother me at all. But for some reason, when he pushed her face into the open cavity, I was like horrified.
No, I think that was worse too.
But that also might be a me thing because I look at open stuff all the time.
Oh, that makes a lot
open
of sense.
stuff.
Well, I don't want. I really should. Okay, so I open people all the time, and literally the incision is from clavicle to groin, and my face is like 6 inches from the inside of a body, 24/7. So that part, I was like, oh, this is an actual nightmare I've had, where I fall forward and land in the donor.
Oh wow, dude!
Oh my god!
So the entire film, I was fine, and then he did that, and I was like,
That is wild. I definitely think in real life I would pass out. But I do, okay, so I watched that and then I didn't watch it again. So the second time was like a few days ago. And I'm not going to rate the other two. I'm just going to say that the third one is at the bottom of the list. I liked it. I felt like it was a little bit more filler and less substance, except what they did with Sienna's character. I like the idea of a Christmas movie because I always like more Christmas horror, but I don't know if it adds anything except the campiness of art in a fucking Santa suit, which I did like. So this one I'm rating, it's going to seem higher to you than what I've just said. I'm going to rate it as a 7. And the reason it's a 7, I really like it. I love the franchise, but the other two are comfort movies for me. Like I will watch them all the time.
comfort movies, she says.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
We bring up comfort movies on this show a lot, and it's always like the most deranged.
It is. Well, actually, I will say, even though we're not rating it, the first I discovered Terrifier because I was asleep. It was like fucking 7 or 8 in the morning, whatever. And my partner runs upstairs to me and goes, "You have to see this. You have to see this movie." This is in the fucking morning because she got to the part in Terrifier 1 where the sawing was coming down from the vagina to the head and said, "Oh, Jen has to see this. She'll love it." So
let me go pick up my wife. She's going to love this.
I was like, this is what people think of me. But yeah, now it's a comfort movie. So, but the third one will not be a comfort movie, I don't think, because I was just like, okay, I like this, but I don't feel like I'm going to rewatch it a lot.
Yeah.
So.
I kind of disagree with you both. I think I like the third one the most. Is that fucked up? Is that messed up to say?
No.
I should start this out by saying, like,
I think he would be delighted to hear that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I should start this out by saying that splatter films and slashers are not my favorite subgenre. I just don't love them. I appreciate the art of them. I can certainly get down and have fun with them, particularly if you watch them like with a group that's like down for some crazy shit. Um but yeah, like I thought Terrifier the OG was fine. Um, and I appreciated its toitness as a film, and by that I mean its efficiency. And Terrifier 2, while I think like having now watched these movies like a bunch of times and like reflecting on them now, like I get why people say it's their favorite. It's just it's too fucking long. And it's like it's 2 hours and 15 minutes. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of ridiculous for a
Yeah.
movie that is just like is is supposed to just be like this kind of like B film grindhouse splatter thing. Like 2 hours and 15 minutes is just unforgivably gratuitous. And so what the third one adds for me is just certain visuals that stuck with me. That coupled with certain kills that I found funnier than anything else in the franchise. Like visuals that stuck with me. I really thought that oh god, what's her name? The sidekick in 3.
Nikki.
I thought that a lot of the imagery with her was like really, even if it doesn't make any sense, it was like really kind of haunting and interesting. Like her like slitting her wrists and just like sitting, like going to sleep in that bathtub. It was like really weird. A lot of the like, this is all early movie stuff, but like the art regeneration stuff where
Yeah.
there's like a tube of some kind and it's like fleshy and weird. Like I was like really kind of feeling some of that
Yeah.
visual stuff up front. And then certain gags later on, like I mean I love that shower kill. I love that shower kill where he takes that chainsaw and saws off that guy's dick and shoves it up his ass and then does a blood angel while Terrifier Christmas is playing, which is a song that's literally
Yes.
like, it's Art the Clown. He's just trying to
Yes.
top his skill.
I love that they did a song for the movie.
So
Yeah.
funny. It's so
Yeah.
funny.
And
And they
then
waited
like
till a great time to play it too. They were like, "Oh, it's now."
and
Like,
I'm super sensitive to like kids getting hurt in movies and getting killed because I have them. But like, god damn it, if when that kid gets blown up, it was the not the funniest thing. Like I laughed so hard when that present exploded, and you just see the like,
yes.
Mhm.
yeah, I don't
Just
know.
like just the zoom out explosion and then Art's like very very like big grin and delightful like look
Yeah,
on his face. Like it's
yeah,
so weirdly satisfying.
Yes.
yeah. So I think I'm going just from like a purely like visceral level with these movies because like I said before, I don't really have much that I feel like I have in stock. Like I don't have much in stock with like whatever like deeper themes he's playing with or like uh what his mythology really is. If it turns out to be really compelling in the fourth one, great. But I don't feel like I expect it. So I feel like I want to give Terrifier 3 a 7.5.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. I agree though. I like the one major thing that knocks the points down for me is just that pacing.
Yeah.
The pacing through all well, Terrifier. Now we can rate the other ones, right?
Yeah, 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 sure.
Terrifier 2 sits at like a solid 8.5, 9 for me.
Wow. Okay,
I
cool.
have such a love for this gritty, ugly little film.
Hmm.
It reminds me so much of like making good student films and like you're with your friends and everything is rich. Everything is valuable because you don't have a lot of money, you don't have a lot of screen time. So like you use it very, very well. And Terrifier
Hmm.
absolutely does that. Terrifier 1, I would give like a 4. I that was painful to watch. That was hard for me. It was a beautiful showcase in special effects, but I was like, oh, this is long. This is we're gonna keep killing. What are we doing? Is there a point to
Yeah.
it? I mean, I get it, but also, oh,
I mean, I definitely agree with you on Terrifier too, 100%. I love it. It's so fun to see an indie director, like, kind of like, just, it felt like he was doing all these things that he just really wanted to do and like experiment with, and like, it felt like a director who was also an artist, and I'm gonna give it a 9. Uh,
Mm,
I love it. I think it's great. The first one is interesting because I think it grew on me. I think I would have rated it lower years ago. And so like when I told my partner what I was gonna rate it today, she was like, that's higher than I thought. And I was like, yeah, but it grew on me. Like it was like
mm,
and maybe Terrifier 3 will do the same. But the first one I'm gonna give it like an 8. Because it is, I do like the simplicity of it, the grittiness of it. There's something about like seeing like, I don't know, like it's the first time we really get to see David Howard Thornton as art and like his expressions in the makeup are just so fucking good.
Oh, he's incredible.
And
mm.
it's so good. And I did want to say quickly, Harry, you mentioned one of the visuals that I fucking loved and wrote in my notes of the third one that I forgot to mention, which was in the house when she's in that like fucking branch filled bloody wall like bathroom and she slits her wrist and the way it's framed with the bathtub on like the left hand side and it's all reds and then it cuts to art and it's all blues in the attic. I was like, this is like so beautiful to look at. So like those scenes the other day or other month I was like, what's that scene where someone's in a bathroom and everybody was like, what the fuck movie are you talking about? And then I realized and no one knew what I was talking about.
I love that too. It reminds me so much of one of my favorite films. What was it? Cabin Fever. Did you guys ever see Cabin Fever?
Yeah.
Early 2000s. Remember when that girl shaves her skin off?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my brain went there. I was like, "Ooh, something fucky is this way comes." I was like, "Something's something's happening."
Fucky
I
this way comes.
Yeah, like something's up. She's got a piece of glass. She's chilling in a bathtub. There's like
Oh,
nothing chill that'll ever happen with those
so
two things.
true. It
Yeah,
was so shocking. It was shocking to watch. It's like hard. Yeah, it's like hard.
yeah.
Hard
He
to watch.
doesn't pull away. I was gonna say I have one question for you guys. Do you have a favorite quote from Terrifier 3? Because I do.
Okay, let's have it.
But did you rate the other ones
I
yet?
didn't rate the other one. Did you
Oh
rate both?
no! Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. My
Oh,
answers are
Harry.
less interesting than yours. I'm gonna say that Terrifier 1 for me is like a 7, and Terrifier 2 is like a 6.5. I just
Really?
don't. It was just so fucking long, and it might have been like more of a product of my like my state of mind going into those movies. Like I think maybe what we do on this show sometimes doesn't really help the movies that we watch because they are meant to be like watched with people, and we just like I always watch all these movies by myself. So like I think that maybe I would have enjoyed Terrifier 2 more in a group, but yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me. But Jill, you were about to give us your
Oh, the quote. So my favorite quote is actually from the friend that's killed in Terrifier 2, and she's sitting across the table from her, and she's like, "You killed me. The least you could do is pass the fucking rice."
yeah.
I was like, "Why? Like, why did we commit to this?" But it's a bit. Like the whole thing is a bit. It's so good.
You could bring that into your daily life. I feel like you killed me. The least you
You
could
killed
do is
me.
pass. Yeah.
Pass the fucking. You know what I say all the time at work is I yearn for the urn.
Oh, nice.
I and someone always looks at me like, you know what we do for work? Like we're like, oh.
On our topic of favorites, can I ask what is everyone's favorite kill of the entire franchise? You have to pick one.
I don't know. I don't know if it's my favorite kill, but because I watched them making it, like behind the scenes practical effects, I really enjoy watching this in the second one where her friend gets like skinned essentially, like because it's sort of fun knowing that all of that is practical and like having seen some of those scenes. So I think that might be off the top of my head, that might be mine.
Yeah. I'm stuck between in Terrifier 2, the way they kill the mom, and in Terrifier 3, the way they kill Santa. It's so creative, right? I mean, freezing somebody and then chipping away at them, like that's a weird, delightful thing to do. Delightfully horrible. Like, but I think I like the jump scare of him rolling down that window. Like, you know, something's coming, but I think the angle and not moving the camera and then just like popping it right behind the camera lens, and then all of that splatter is just like fantastic.
Awesome. I think for me, it's the kills, the Allie. I think her name is Allie in Terrifier 2. It's the big long
It
one.
is Allie. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
It's just so good. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. It's so ridiculous. And she's still alive through all of it. And there's like, he maims her terribly in every way you can imagine. And then he leaves the room and then he comes back with like salt and bleach.
Yes, it's just, and you're like, oh God, we're not gonna stop.
and he's having so much fun.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard a fun fact about that kill. The reason it's so long is because of the pandemic, and it's being shot during the pandemic, and like there was a point at which production was halted for like a while, except they were like mid production on this scene, and so they had nothing to do but like shoot this scene and shoot different aspects of this scene. So they just keep going and going and going and going, and that's why it's like a 10-minute kill scene in the middle of this movie.
It's so funny. It's a bit in and of itself. Like, I think that's what it is that makes Terrifier so good. The kills are bits. They're humor.
Yeah.
He's as much a slasher artist as he is an improv artist. He's like, no, I'll just keep going.
Mm-hmm. Thinking of Terrifier 3 specifically, like, are there any things that you like wish was in the film that wasn't there? Any tweaks you would make? What do you think?
I mean, mine's easy. I'm just gonna say Jonathan's death. Put it in the movie.
You're really hung up on this, my friend.
I am. I was like, we see everyone else's death. What the fuck? Unless he's not dead, and then I'm fine with it. But if he's really dead, no.
Damien Leone is probably gonna like hear all this criticism and be like, maybe he's not dead. Let's bring him back. Sure, whatever.
Okay, if he is listening, make it more surreal. That's all I'm saying.
People love that, Jen.
The only thing I would want to see more of in Terrifier 3 is better writing. I could give a shit about anything else. That writing is terrible.
Like better bad writing or like better writing?
Better writing. I could barely follow some of the. I was like, man, just.
But they all have terrible writing.
It was. I feel like they added too many words to Terrifier 3. At least in Terrifier 2, there was less shitty dialogue. In Terrifier 3, there was so much of it. I was like, when are we going to see someone die? This is terrible. I'm begging for death now.
I think for me, I think there was a real missed opportunity because Jonathan kept alluding to a big like Christmas party happening at his college, which I really thought I was going to get a scene of Art the Clown like at a rager at like a college party, like doing keg stands and shit, and like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that would have been so funny. Yeah, so good to have, and it could have ended with a kill scene.
That would have been fantastic.
Yeah,
and then we would have been talking about like how Carrie inspired him.
right.
Like just absolute bloodfest and him doing keg stands in the corner by himself.
Totally.
I feel like we always do who's the hottest. Mm-hmm. So I feel like we got to continue it. So
we must.
Who wants to go first? I'm still debating.
My genitals say Sienna. My heart says Art.
Aw, that's so cute.
I don't know what to tell you.
I will second Sienna. Specifically though, from Terrifier 2 in the like Valkyrie costume, which totally gives like Jabba the Hutt Palace Princess Leia, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
It's all brown. It's brown. It felt like Xena Warrior.
Yeah, that's a good reference too. Yes. And the other thing I will say is I did feel complicated feelings about the scene where Vicky masturbates with a shard of glass.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
I was this is terrifying, and I can't look away. And also, I can't say it's like not a little bit hot. You know what I mean?
Right, because she's so committed to it.
She's so committed to the bit. Yeah.
You so into it, you're like, oh my god, maybe people should try it. No.
No. You take a moment and you come to your senses.
Exactly. You come to your senses and you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Don't talk. Jill, I was also torn between art and Sienna. And I'm going to say a wild thing. And I'm going to say art. I think art is
above Sienna.
franchise killer.
He's a charmer.
He's like
that
covered
man's
in
a
his own
charmer.
shit half the time.
He really is. When he pissed on Santa, I was like, wow.
He got a lot of kinks, you know? But he'll do anything.
In that
regard,
really
will. That's a good point. I mean, he will do anything.
Yeah. I'll never say no.
And because he can't either, because he can't talk. That's terrible. Right. I'm canceled now. Someone always gets canceled, either Harry or me. So this time it's me.
It's perfect. He's a mime, so he can't say no.
Yeah.
I'm glad the kid's dead. I'm glad he can't talk. What else, Jen? What else do you love about these movies?
That's kind of all I had. Does anybody have any other big things that we should cover with the Terrifier films?
No, I mean, it's just impressive. It's just impressive. They take this tiny indie film and blew it up.
Yeah.
And in a short amount of time, and it is special. It's totally different than your normal slasher film.
Yeah, I agree. I love it as a champion of like indie film. I think that's great. And I just don't want Damien Leone to like lose sight of like his vision as a director. Cause like now he's like, he's in the room with like big like movie execs and stuff. And like
he's in the room with people who like feet. Like it's
yeah. There's gonna be some like meddling, they're gonna they're gonna try to fuck with it, and he's gotta have the guts to stick to his vision, which like if it was me, I don't know if I would. So
I know. I hope he does though.
Yeah, I mean, he grossed a lot on Terrifier 3. It's a good shot that Terrifier 4 will still be pretty much his.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, it's the last one he's doing too. So then after that,
Really?
then I'm sure we'll get a bunch of subpar trash. At least 7 or 8 movies. Cool. Well, the last thing we do, Jill, is that we have our guest provide for us a sound bite as the last thing our listenership will hear for the episode. And you can do anything you want, any noise at all.
One person said, bye-bye.
Yeah. Some people quote like the movie. One person did a Jar Jar Binks impression for some reason.
Yeah.
I do have a question. This is such a niche clip. Did you guys ever see on the news where they were able to recreate the sound of a mummy talking from Egypt?
Yeah.
Never seen that, but I know what I'm doing afterwards.
It's
Wait, that's the noise?
That's the noise. They blow air through this like 3D printed esophagus, and it's just like
So okay, so that's our soundbite. So give us one good mummy blow real quick. Go ahead.
ah.
That's perfect.